Hi, it's Jahanvi Shah here. Welcome to my channel, Authentically Parenting. I want to start today somewhere very personal. If you've followed my work for a while, you may already know this part of my story, but it really matters here. This was the moment that changed how I parent and honestly, how I understand myself. My daughter was 2, and it was one of those nights where I had nothing left, not just tired, depleted. I hadn't slept well in days. My husband was out of town, in fact, out of country that week. There wasn't much support, and I was trying to juggle everything, just hoping to get through the night. And something small happened. Not a big meltdown, not chaos, just a moment. And I lost it. I reacted in a way that shocked me, even shocked my daughter. But what stays with me isn't even what I said or did. It's what happened immediately after. My daughter froze, her body curled inward, her face looked scared and confused, like she didn't even understand what just happened or who I had suddenly become. And in that very next second, I remember thinking, my gosh, what did I just do? That night cracked something open for me. Because I didn't lack love, I didn't lack intention. What I lacked and didn't even know how to name at the time was capacity. I'm sharing this because when we talk about why certain parenting moments hit so hard, it's easy to assume those moments mean we failed. But what I learned that night, and of course I didn't learn it in the moment, it took me a while to learn this. But what I learned that night, and what I've seen again and again with parents I work with, is that these moments are rarely about effort. They're about load, what you're carrying, what your body has room for, what's already stretched thin before the moment even happens. That night wasn't about my daughter. It was about how much my system has been holding without rest, without relief, without support. And when capacity is low, even ordinary moments can tip us over. And this is where many parents recognize themselves. Maybe your moment don't look like mine. Maybe it was the third time you asked and got ignored. Maybe it was the tone that felt dismissive. Maybe it was the eye rolls. Maybe it was the sigh. Maybe it was rudely hearing from your child, I know, leave me alone, right? That tightens something in your chest or your throat. Nothing dramatic. Nothing anyone else would notice, and yet your body reacted fast. Your patience dropped. Your voice changed before you meant to. And later you found yourself wondering, why did that hit me so hard? When capacity is stretched, your nervous system doesn't wait for a big moment to react. It reacts at pressure points. Pressure points are where something small lands on something already full. You've already been holding a lot mentally, emotionally, physically, and then your child pushes back or uses that tone, and that's it. It's not that moment that tips you over, it's the accumulation. Your body is responding to how much it's already managing, how little space there is left, how alone it feels in carrying it. That's why the reaction can feel sudden, even to you, but it's not sudden. It's just the place where the load finally shows itself. And here's the part that parents find relieving once they hear it. Capacity doesn't just come from how hard you try now. It comes from what your nervous system learned over time. Many of us grew up learning to hold it together, to stay composed, to be responsible, to be mature, to not take too much emotional space. Stop crying, right? We heard that. We were not taught how to discharge stress. or how to be supported when things felt overwhelming. So our nervous system is pretty smart, so it really becomes very good at functioning and not very practiced at being held. And now as a parent in our parenting, we're asking our bodies to offer something they never had much chance to practice themselves. So when certain moments hit hard, it's not because you're doing something wrong. It's because your system is being asked to give more than it was ever supported in giving. And that's not a flaw, that's context. This is why parents say things like, I don't know why that bothered me so much. I didn't mean to sound like that. I don't like how I showed up in that moment and what I did, what I end up doing. It's not that you forgot what you believe. It's not that you stopped caring. It's that your body moved faster than you're thinking. Parenting doesn't just live in our thoughts. It lives in the nervous system. And nervous system respond to pressure, especially when capacity is low. By the way, if you're new here, I'm Jahanvi Shah. I share this kind of work for parents who want to understand themselves more deeply, not just manage behavior on the surface. I'm really glad you're here. Let me tell you, take two different parents. Two parents can experience the same moment and react completely differently. Sounds familiar? It happens in spouses too, right? One may just shrug it off. The other feels it all the way in their body, deeply, not because one parent is calmer or stronger. I don't know if this completely applies, but it's similar. Like, two people are in the accident. One walks away without any scratch, nothing, and one suffers for a lifetime. Aches and pains and whatnot, right? We see that. It's same thing. So everybody brings in their individual experiences, their nervous system into these hard moments, whether it's accidents or when your child is not listening to you, right? Maybe your husband responds completely differently than you do. It's not because one parent is calmer or stronger, but because they're carrying different loads, different histories, different levels of support. So when a moment hits hard, it's not a verdict on your parenting. It's simply information. Your body's saying, I'm stretched. I don't have much room left right now. I need support, not judgment. If you're listening to this and thinking, yes, this explains so much, I want you to know you're not alone. I would love for you to share it in the comment. I read every comment and respond, and I would love to hear from you if you feel like, gosh, this is exactly how I feel. I would love for you to feel seen and supported. When parents understand this, something softens within them. You stop turning those moments into proof that you're failing. You stop being so confused by yourself. And you start responding with more awareness. Not perfectly, but more honestly. As you know, I always say children don't need perfect parents. They need parents who can notice, pause, and come back. If you're watching this and thinking, okay, this makes sense, I see myself in this, but now what? Now what, Jahanvi? And this is exactly where the Heart Parenting Guide comes in. This video is about awareness. The guide gently takes you into the how. Not in the rigid or overwhelming way, but in a nervous system informed way that helps you notice what's happening in your body before moments spill over. It's something you can come back to slowly, especially on the days when capacity feels really low. I will put the link in the description or in the comments. And If you know this kind of work can be done in isolation, if you feel how important it is not to carry it all alone, the Authentically Parenting Community is a calm, monthly nervous system sanctuary for parents. No fixing, no pressure, just support, reflection, and space to build capacity over time. You're always welcome there. I want to leave you with this. When a parenting moment hits harder than you expect, please know it's not a sign that something is wrong with you. It's a sign that something in you is carrying more than it has room for. And the goal is not to override it. The goal is to listen and to offer yourself the same care you're trying to offer your child. Because when parents feel supported from the inside, connection becomes more available on the outside. And that's where real change begins. And if this kind of conversation supports you, go ahead, subscribe this channel, and stay connected. Lots of love.